The beautiful skyline of Denver, Colorado is our backdrop tonight. Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry, our terrific analysts, and David Aldridge is our sideline reporter. DA, take it away.
Well, Coach Mike Malone had this to say about his understated superstar, Nikola Jokic. Malone said he's truly beloved by all his teammates. No ego, a little bit goofy, doesn't take himself too seriously, and with his success, he's still the same kid. That's why everybody cares about him and respects him. Kevin?
The Nuggets, lucky to have you. Thanks, David. A chance now to check out how the All-Star voting is shaping up.
And I tell you, the excitement's starting to ratchet up a little bit as the tallies start coming in.
Take a look at Murray. He's on the cusp of the top 10 in the Western Conference voting.
So still a long way away from being named a starter, but the fans aren't overlooking what he's been doing this season.
And it's going to be an exciting showcase. We'll keep you updated with the results each day during the voting. So a look at our starters for the Knicks. Barrett is out there with Payton. Then it's Taj Gibson. Then it's Julius Randle. And it's Harkless in at the 3, the small forward. And for Denver, the backcourt is Murray and Harris. Millsap and Jokic, the big men. And it's Porter in at the 3 slot.
Tons and tons of playing time to be had in New York for Coach Fizdale. Second-round players, second-chance players. A lot of these guys are going to get their shot. Of course, R.J. Barrett, the guy they're going to lean on most to see what he's capable of doing and how quickly he can learn. But the Knicks have a ton of developing to do this year.
And last season, Brent, guys like Robinson, Dotson, and Moutier, they all got to see the floor for the Knicks.
Yeah, those moments helped, although all of those guys are not back with the Knicks this coming season. But that younger talent getting out on the NBA floor for actual NBA minutes could help them to play a pivotal role moving forward for those players.
Shooting 2.
Free throw, good. Jokic.
What a find by the Denver Nuggets. No hype really around Jokic coming into the league. And now he's a star player here in Denver, a franchise player here in Denver, and a heart of a team that's got a tremendous amount of potential in the next couple of seasons. Jokic heading up this offense and shouldering the load.
And Jokic drops them both. And with Jokic, he was a second-round pick for the Nuggets back in 2014.
You think about the decision that was made between Jokic and Nurkic and how it is that the team felt like Jokic could grow if Nurkic moved on, which he did to Portland. And now all of a sudden the offense takes off under Jokic, a playmaking 5 that opens up a lot of cutting opportunities. And I know this young nucleus is going to do some great things in the future, mostly behind what Jokic has provided this organization.
Here's Murray following the basket by Elfrid Payton. It's stolen by Barrett. And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Got that bucket in no time at all.
An effective mid-range scorer. Barrett excels at finding openings in the defense and capitalizing.
The pass to Jokic. Over Gibson. And Jokic gets it to go. The assist by Murray.
And he's not going to miss many of those, especially that wide open.
No, he's automatic from the mid-range, and the defense knows that. It's a mistake to give up a shot like that.
Now here's Payton. He's coming off a 19-point game against Sacramento.
And guys, the other thing that he did well was just facilitate the offense, pass the ball around beautifully in that one, seriously put on a passing clinic.
The Knicks have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Harkless, the pass to Barrett. Randle against Millsap. Randle kicks to Payton. 5 to shoot. Back to Randle, beyond the arc. Denver grabs the miss. They beat the Knicks during their last encounter in New York.
Not a close contest either. The last time they got together, everyone in the rotation played solid, and the bench was the difference.
The second unit came in last game and just played lights-out basketball. I'm sure they'd like to do that again.
Here's Payton. Michael Porter making his last shot. And the call up against Jokic. That is his first foul of the game. And the Knicks with possession here. Trailing by 2, and Michael Porter is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul.
That's his first personal foul.
Here's Payton. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game.
Well, there's some length from Murray as a guard there as he helps out on defense and pesters the shooter.
And it's good, 2 points. Porter's got his second basket of the game.
Uncovered at the rim, finding cracks in the defense here early on.
Just really smart basketball and exploiting whatever holes that he's seeing right now in the defensive squad.
Nuggets have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Back to Murray. Passes it to Jokic from the arc. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got his 4th assist in this one.
Like that from Murray right there. When he's passing it like this, it can make him so much better and so much more open.
Now here's Payton. Randle left side. Good defense by Jokic.
And the pressure he put on that shot forced the miscue.
Those are all the little things about effort there. He just gets out there and contests, and that's just enough.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Halfway through the season here, Brent, how do coaching staffs shake things up and keep things fresh over the long 82-game season?
I think coaches who are really smart, Kevin, can be a bit programmable where they're looking ahead at the schedule and saying there are blocks of games here in which we might try to change some of our defensive schemes, maybe over this 10-game stretch or 5-game stretch. Or
to keep things fresh or to...
Yeah, because you can only do it on the mental side. As much as we talk about guys getting rested and sitting out games for maintenance issues and load management and those kind of things, the tweaks that you can make on the floor in terms of a couple of new sets on offense or defensively, let's make this challenge for the next few months, will grow the foundation of what coaching staffs are capable of doing with that team as they go on.
That free throw, no good. You know, Brent, passing is just one of the many things that Jokic does well on the floor.
Well, it doesn't look pretty at times, and there's not a ton of athleticism, but the cerebral play of Jokic, and then for teams to try to prepare, Kevin, defensively for a team offensively that plays from a point center, that's a bit of a mind job night in and night out. Denver's done such a great job of accentuating the skill set of Nikola Jokic.
And lost his touch right there. Didn't see that coming. Usually, when he's hot, he stays hot.
Payton against Harris. 6 to shoot. Here's Harkless. The long distance 3 is buried. Harkless has got 5.
I think the defense has more concerns out there on the floor, and they give him a good open look from the perimeter.
Harris looking it over. For 3. Offensive rebound. Jokic. That shot is off target. That makes him 2 for 3. And here's Payton. He'll bring it up for the New York Knicks. Trailing by 2. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule. Losing to Sacramento.
Yeah, on the road, you're already a little out of your element. Then the misses from the line become contagious.
Well, it can affect your confidence, not just as the player shooting, but the entire team. So defenses might get a little bit more aggressive, and then you got to think about the next free throw.
New York shooting their first free throws of the night. first one falls for him.
An expanding offensive game for Julius Randle, as the first few years he was driving in with his head down and not able to finish around taller players on the interior part of defenses. But last year, tremendous finisher, added some three-point shooting, and was much better from the mid-range. He becomes a bit of a matchup nightmare if he's got all three of those things working.
And it's tied up with that one. And Brent, the blend of strength, agility, and speed makes Randle a handful when he's going downhill.
He's dangerous around the rim, Kevin, and if he's got a live dribble where he's caught the ball around the elbow or the top of the key and can put the ball down on the deck and get up to speed, he becomes tough to guard. Be really interesting if the Knicks can explore him in some transition opportunities, getting out on the break where he might be able to rebound and push it out, a la a Draymond Green type of play.
That one rolling around and rims out. Denver's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Murray. That's in, coming off the assist from Jokic.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Knicks trail by 4. Pass to Robinson. Pass to Randle. Over Plumlee. Randle no good.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
Now the pass to Morris. The dish to Murray. Morris outside. Inside. You talk about solid role players, Brent. Mason Plumlee fits the bill.
Does such a great job consistently of coming in, being a physical player, setting screens and rolling. Probably an underrated part of his game is the way that he passes the ball, but never is going to get your team out of sorts with the way that Mason can play within his role.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That one is off.
One area after watching Denver over the course of the past 2 years showing what they can do offensively is for them to improve on the defensive end of the floor. About middle of the pack last year, they can get into that top 5. They become very formidable as a finals team.
Denver making a switch here. Grant's checked in. And he sinks the second. Here's Ntilikina. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
A floater. Here's Portis, stolen by Grant. Here's Murray. Plays it up and banks it in. Murray's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Now, here is Robinson. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. And for the Nuggets, I think they concede, Brent, that defense is a work in progress.
Well, that's why they jumped, though, last year, Kevin. 2 years ago, they were at the very bottom of the league, and last year showed some signs of getting some cohesion on that end of the floor. If they get into that top 5, Kevin, this team could be on their way to the NBA Finals.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Plumlee. Are there any players, Brent, you have been surprised with how good they've become?
Well, last year, the evolution of Pascal Siakam and what he was able to do in Toronto was just out of nowhere. And what an incredible run he had, being a huge part of getting that team into the NBA Finals for the first time. Canada saw finals basketball, the birthplace of basketball.
The Toronto Huskies, you're right.
Pascal Siakam last year was such a huge eye-opener.
How about his game 1 in the finals? Unbelievable.
Tremendous and great confidence, and the way that he can play, Kevin, very difficult to match up against. Shooting threes, transition, long on defense. It'll be interesting to see in the years to come how far Pascal Siakam comes in the league. Kevin Knox was a bit of a mixed bag in his rookie season, and that's to be expected on a team that didn't have a tremendous amount of consistent talent on the floor. He struggled with his scoring and showed some flashes shooting the ball. It'll be interesting in year 2 where it is that Kevin Knox has made some improvements in the offseason.
The first one falls. And with Knox, Brent, the athleticism is clearly there.
Oh, he can get up and down with the best of them and can rise up and do some exciting things, but for Kevin Knox, it's about consistency. Can he get to some spots on the floor where every night he's capable of making plays, whether that's for him or doing something off the bounce? That's the next step for Kevin Knox.
Well, the Knicks had a lot of turnover trading for expiring contracts. They did what they could to accommodate the wishes of a lot of vets.
Yeah, the problem right now for the Knicks is they're not inviting to a lot of free agents, and that's really where they're trying to make their play. So fascinating over the course of the past decade that New York has not been able to attract the top-tier talent. So building through the draft, Coach Fizdale hopeful that they'll land a star one way or another.
And the dunk by Grant.
Well, Grant, one of those big guys that gets up off the ground like a guard. Love to see him throw it down.
Ntilikina looking it over. Pass to Portis. And the layup's good off the glass.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Morris passes to Plumlee. To the middle. Here's Murray. He can't get that one, so New York will take it the other way. Pass to Ntilikina. There's 1:26 left in the first quarter, and he comes up with the deuce. And now just a 4-point Nugget lead.
Well, Frank looking better and better here on the offensive end.
Now here's Murray. He's guarded closely. Feeds to Plumlee. And it's slammed in by Plumlee.
You just wonder where Jamal Murray is going to go. This guy is a terrific combo guard.
Here's Ntilikina. He's covered by Grant. Ntilikina can't hit.
Is it getting cold in here, Kevin? This is a tough one. Crucial that he starts to work a little harder for a higher percentage shot.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
36 seconds left to play in the first. To the paint, here's Robinson. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
Now, that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, the coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
And Robinson comes to help. Grant, and the dunk by Grant.
Well, that's just sweet passing there for Murray, keeping his eyes open and finding the open man.
Here's Ntilikina, and it's sent back by Plumlee.
Time for some consideration in the passing category, maybe, Kevin. The shot is just not on. Get somebody else going.
And the wide open shot from Morris, and he can't extend the lead to double digits. The shot, no good. And so it's the Denver Nuggets in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We've got more in store for you right after this. Nikola Jokic, a former second-round pick turned star in the league, talks about what the game means to him.
Basketball, like passion, love. Like that is the thing I play. Like when I know 4, 6, 7 years old, I don't know. Like basketball is always in my life. That like I think it's passion. I think it's passion.
In basketball, Greg, a big deal in Jokic's native land of Serbia.
And I love his creativity. There's an artistry and a freedom in how he plays the game.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And from what we've been watching, guys, with the Nuggets, what are you seeing out there?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Yeah, they did a great job. Just the initial thrust of that attack, as soon as they got the ball, constantly in transition.
Here are the 5 New York has to start here in the second. Portis is out there with Mitchell Robinson. Then there's Wayne Ellington. Then there's Reggie Bullock. And it's Ntilikina in at the 1 spot. First free throw is good. Brent, with offensive rebounding, which players can you count on to create second chance opportunities every game they play?
Well, Giannis in Milwaukee does a pretty good job with his length, grabbing boards and being able to go back in and cause some problems for the defense. Rudy Gobert is always around the rim, both defensively and offensively. DeAndre Jordan did that for years. It'll be interesting to see, if he can continue that role down there to be a putback and a stick-back guy.
And the former Razorback, Bobby Portis, took a few years to find his spot in the NBA, but now he does produce.
And great big man to bring in off the bench. Good size and quickness combination, and will always give you scoring with that second unit.
Three-pointer Ellington. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got 4 rebounds now tonight.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Now, here is Morris. He's still scoreless so far in this one. And again, Denver no good.
The D giving him that shot, and that's probably not a good idea, but I guess they knew what they were doing that time.
And we've played just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter.
Man, I didn't know he could get up like that.
So it's Ntilikina who brings up the ball for New York. 8-point game. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Count that bucket.
Well, that's how you draw it up right there. A screen to shed the defense, a quick move to the bucket, and you get the lay-in.
Now, here is Morris. And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
Brent, on both ends of the floor, Will Barton is an effective spark plug for this team.
Yeah, he can fire you up out there, Kevin. He can do some things, obviously, defensively to get the team going and igniting the fast break. And then offensively, I know Mike Malone might not agree with all of the choices from Will Barton, but when he gets it going, it's an extra spark for this Nugget squad.
That free throw good from Barton.
So many finishers on this Denver Nugget team, and a great second unit that comes in and changes the pace. It's the passing that really helps that Denver Nugget offense get into a flow and make them very difficult to guard. Not a surprise, they were second in assists last year.
Now here's Payton. 4 on the clock. Good work defensively by Millsap.
And the effort never stops with him. No easy shots when he's on the floor.
Well, it's about the defensive end, and that's what guys feed off. He gives the effort down there at all times.
And Brent, when you take a look at the Nuggets, it's almost as if every bucket comes from that extra pass.
Yeah, the team was in the middle of the road last year in terms of their made threes, but second in threes that were assisted on, so ball movement imperative to the success of their offense. And of course, we know it kind of starts there with that point center in Jokic.
New York shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. That's good from Payton. And 5 straight triple-doubles last season for Elfrid Payton, showing his all-around impact.
Amazing with his size and athleticism at the point guard position. that he has that kind of versatility. That's some lofty company. I mean, 5 straight triple-doubles. What an amazing run by EP.
Taj Gibson's checked in for the Knicks. Julius Randle comes in for Bobby Portis.
Well, no secret that the Knicks were planning for a massive free agency and a free agent signing this past summer. They cleared a lot of cap space, and we're hopeful that their draft choice would be that #1 slot. It did not come to fruition.
Here's Payton. Gary Harris making his last shot. They get the rebound.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And for those of you just joining us, we're in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. Here's Payton. And stolen by Barton. And Barton throws it down.
Well, you have to be cautious when Barton is around there. He knows how to poke those balls loose and frustrate his man on the defensive end.
And a lot of people, Brent, feel that without a doubt, the Knicks are still a destination for free agents.
Well, to vacation, it seems like, Kevin, because not a lot of the free agents are signing to play basketball in New York City. You know, they put a lot of faith in that idea that it's the #1 market and the best place to live, and you can make a lot of money off the court. But over the past 10 years, have not seen much action out of New York City.
And the first one drops.
And a breakout season for Julius Randle in 2018-19. Averaged close to 20 and 10, delivering on the talent that saw him taken 7th overall back in 2014.
Jokic has checked in for the Nuggets. He's off on the second. Greg, the Lakers allowed Julius Randle to leave in restricted free agency in 2018 so they could preserve some of their cap space.
I mean, his defense still lags behind, but offensively, well, he is special. The lefty, tough to deal with inside.
Heat. And it's Jokic with the rebound.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Barton kicks to Porter. Denver passing it around. And Harris wide open. He shoots. And a miss there on the triple. Here's Barrett. Rebound by the Nuggets. Jokic has got 4 rebounds in this game. Harris's shot is off.
They've been able to have some team success in this game despite what's been an awful shooting night for him.
And the foul on Will Barton. That is his first foul of the game.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
The Knicks making a switch here. Harkless is checked in. Payton finds Harkless. Back to Payton from downtown. And the Knicks miss again.
Oh, a tough quarter for him offensively. He hasn't been able to give his team a lift when they need it.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. Well, Brent, not many can deny that Gary Harris is an absolute pest on the defensive end.
Yeah, pretty relentless on that end of the floor. Defensively, he's rugged and tough, and he can cover a lot of ground with that lateral quickness.
First trip to the line for him here.
Shooting 2.
That's good from Harris. And one thing you have to love about Gary Harris, the way he can explode to the rim.
And Harris is a natural scorer from all parts of the floor, but he can just rocket himself for dunks you aren't used to seeing from players of his size and stature.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Payton against Barton. Payton outside. He kicks to Gibson. Over Jokic. New York, no good that time either.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Now Harris, 17 points in his last outing. It's rebounded by Barrett.
And there hasn't been anything easy for him in this period.
No, I haven't seen him in comfortable spots, or at least spots we've seen in this offensive set that are allowing him to settle in.
Now here's Barton after R.J. Barrett's miss. Barton, no luck.
I think he rushed that one just a little bit, thinking the defense was going to get close. They weren't.
Payton looking around. Pass to Randall. Shot clock at 5. Over Porter. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
Well, he wants to shoot his way out of this cold spell, but the struggles continue.
Yeah, he's got to move on, forget about this sequence here, and try to find a way to get on the board.
The pass to Barton. It's stolen by Randall. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Jokic against Payton. Outside Gibson. Passes it to Randall. Over Millsap. Randall no good.
Well, he wanted to keep that shot from getting blocked, but in the process, he gave it no chance of going in because of how unbalanced he was on the fade.
And running with a full head of steam, but completely under control.
Yeah, you think he's comfortable at that speed. He's done it so many times before. Just an absolute blur in transition, and that helps get the rhythm going.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. And after essentially a redshirt rookie year with the Nuggets, Michael Porter Jr., the 14th pick in the 2018 draft, is back in action.
Could be a huge addition. Remember, Porter was projected as a top 2 pick entering his freshman season at Missouri. If he can stay healthy, you're adding an elite talent to your rotation.
A different look for Denver. Grant, he's checked in for Millsap. Jamal Murray comes in for Harris. And Morris subbed in for Barton. Then for the Knicks, Kevin Knox is checked in for Gibson. Reggie Bullock comes in for Barrett. And Frank Ntilikina's subbed in for Payton. New York, no good that time either.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Good.
He's got a lot to do with the position that they're in. A very smart offensive performance tonight from him.
Here's Ntilikina. Michael Porter making his last shot. Here's Randall, and Grant sends it back.
A skilled shot blocker, Grant, coming over and is so quick off the floor, swats that one out.
Outside Porter. The Nuggets need to get a shot off here. From deep. The Knicks pull it in.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Well, I thought they played smart, and then all of a sudden it was maybe a little too flashy there, and that's unfortunate.
Back to Knox. Can they get it? Porter pulls it in. Porter's got 6 rebounds in the game. And that one drops for him.
Timeout.
Porter's got 6 here in this quarter.
Well, Porter can expect this. Defenses are going to try to be physical with him, try to get in his head.
New York calls timeout.
And the medical red flags for Michael Porter Jr. caused him to slide to the Nuggets in the 2018 draft. 2 back surgeries in less than a year. An injury suffered initially in his sophomore year of high school. The risk is there, but if his body holds up, potentially a star in the making.
So for the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson's checked in for Julius Randle, and it's Portis in for Maurice Harkless. Knicks trail by 21. And stolen by Murray. Outside Porter with the floater. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. Murray's got 9 assists now tonight. Last outing for Denver, they won that game against Oklahoma City. Outside Robinson, pass to Portis. Will it go? And he gets it to go. Portis has got his second bucket of the night.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
That's one that the coaches will watch tomorrow with that player. You hate to see him give up in that situation. Now, that play never gets old, Kevin. The pick and roll will still be an offensive staple 100 years from now. Trust me.
Pass to Knox. Portis in the post. He's covered by Grant. Portis can't get it to go.
That might not be the shot they want him taking, even with the D backing off.
And it's Murray with the jam.
Well, Jokic with great anticipation there, one of his better qualities as a passing big.
So it's Ntilikina who brings up the ball for the New York Knicks. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Outside Portis. Here's Ntilikina. Just 5 on the clock. It's stolen by Morris. And there's the foul. It'll go on Frank Ntilikina. That'll be his second foul of the game.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Up in time. And so it's the Denver Nuggets holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. They have made it very tough to get a shot off against them. Their defense has been stifling. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, guys. Here with Coach Mike Malone. How has ball movement opened up things for you offensively?
Every game we have where we get into a one-on-one game, over-dribbling, not passing, we become very easy to guard. The good thing about tonight is the ball is moving. We're trying to make plays for each other. When we move the ball, we get high percentage shots, which is all we can ask for.
Thanks very much for your time, Coach. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what a show being put on here for the home fans tonight. I'm Ernie Johnson, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Big time play throughout the first half for Michael Porter. He had 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. He struggled in their last game, but he's not having any problems tonight. Really good first half for him. He was right on the mark. Kenny, your thoughts on the Nuggets' first half?
Well, how about that ball movement? That was a true definition of team basketball. All 5 guys moving, all guys rotating, everyone touching the ball, a bunch of assists, tons of easy baskets. It gives everyone on the floor confidence when you're playing like that.
Shaq, what did you think about New York?
Well, one reason they're getting roasted, a.k.a. blown out, poor rebounding. Way too many one-and-done possessions. I don't want to see guys dribble between their legs and shoot. Not enough fundamentals. Hey, box out 101. Maintain position 101. Learn how to play basketball 101. Things like that, Ernie.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. Really an incredible game from Michael Porter.
Yeah, it's been a great performance from him, really staying focused on quality shots.
Yeah, this is showing that they're not going to play at anybody else's pace but their own.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be.
Well, one thing that Nuggets fans can rest easy on is this team has its core in place.
No doubt about that. There's a lot to like about the future of the Denver Nuggets with Jokic at that center position and the huge extension signed this offseason by Jamal Murray. That's a fantastic duo between your 5 and your point guard to build on.
Millsap and Jokic, the big men. The backcourt is Murray and Harris. And it's Porter in at the 3. That's the group for Mike Malone getting going here in the second half.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Barrett the pass to Gibson. He dishes it to Payton. Murray with the defensive effort.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Porter. And it's blocked, but they'll get another chance. A second chance effort. It's rebounded by New York. Gibson's got 4 rebounds now tonight. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure. They have yet to hit a shot, a real slow start here in the second half.
And that one's good by Porter.
But when Porter is attacking, the defense is in trouble. Have to respect his ability to put it on the floor.
Now here's Payton. He's got 5. And stolen by Murray. And he banks in the layup. Murray's got 12 in the game.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Payton outside. Now, here's Barrett. They count on his contributions, currently providing 16.5 points a game. 5 on the clock. And again, it's the Knicks missing.
Ugh, ugly start to the second half. They've missed their first 4. They've got to get on track.
Here's Jokic. That one's not going to go. Randall with some nice D. Shoots it up. And Barrett with the basket on the assist from Payton. Barrett's got his second basket.
All right, after 4 misses, they finally get one to go. That has to be a big relief for the offense after beginning this half on a bit of a cold streak.
Harris with it. Picked up by Barrett. They get it back. And no good on the shot. Trying to follow through after the contact, but he'll shoot 2 at the line instead.
And Jokic, even though we look at his body and you don't think he plays physically, he can do that.
And with the Knicks rebuilding their roster this summer, there is hope in the air.
Well, 2 big swings they were hopeful to take. One was at the draft and ending up getting the second overall pick in R.J. Barrett. Certainly points the team in the right direction. The second one was in free agency. And unfortunately for the New York Knicks, again, a bit of a swing and a miss. So we'll see if through some youth and maybe some flexible contracts, the Knicks can find a way to finally construct something in Gotham.
And he makes the first.
Well, it didn't take too long for Jokic to blossom into one of the better young players in the league. Much quicker than most folks, I think, give him credit for.
Martin's checked in for Porter. And Jokic drops them both. And bird rights an important element in structuring the salary cap. Can you tell the viewers exactly what that means?
What it means, Kevin, is you have the ability to go into above the tax to sign your own player, and so it doesn't cost you in terms of tax dollars. So if a player finishes his season, you have bird rights on that player. You can negotiate a number that's not going to impact your bottom line and cut into your salary cap. So very important when teams are maneuvering around and trying to get players on their roster for a season or two, that after that second season or third season over, that the bird rights still remain for them to extend him even further to keep him around the culture.
6 attempts for him at the line. He's made 4. First one falls for him. The Nuggets making a switch here. Conley's checked in. And he makes both free throws.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Payton against Murray. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
Well, you notice the length there from Vonleh, allowing him to get that shot block.
Payton on the double team. Murray the pass to Barton. And Barton throws it down.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Here's Barrett. Payton outside. Randall with the ball. Vonleh on him. Offensive rebound. Tries again. No good at the rim.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy that you want to see on every possession throughout the game.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Here's Payton. Gary Harris making his last shot. And the pass to Randall. Vonleh with the rebound. Vonleh's got 5 rebounds tonight. Barton passes to Murray. On the wing, Harris. And the 3 off target. New York's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Passes it to Payton. Gibson looking it over. Pass to Randall. Over Vonleh. That's good from Randall on the assist by Gibson. Randall's got 5 points so far.
The strength and the quickness and now the confidence coming along as Randall's able to score.
Here's Murray. That shot off. And New York the other way now.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Payton kicks to Gibson. Pass to Barrett. New York needs to get off a shot. Here's Payton. Off the mark there with the three-point shot.
And another miss. Ooh, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. And out of bounds as the Knicks gain possession. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east. Already we are in December. To take a look at the Knicks, they were hoping to get off to a better start to the season. Things are still early, so they still may have a chance.
And I think for the Knicks, they're already looking to the offseason. And that's a shame. Their fans deserve a little bit more from this team.
Yeah, the body language right now kind of telling the story. Losing takes a huge toll on you, especially during an 82-game grind.
Now Barrett, after the missed 3 from Elfrid Payton. Just 4 to shoot.
And it's still a rare sight to see rebound numbers like the ones he's had tonight.
Well, this kind of effort will energize the team and get you going, just gobbling up every board.
And yes, it's good. He's got 15.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Kicks it out to Gibson. He feeds it to Randall. Rebound by the Nuggets. Vonleh's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. It's Barton on the wing, defended by Harkless. Barton passes to Vonleh. And there's the pass to Harris. Buries it from three-point range. Harris has got 9.
Well, the confidence that Gary Harris is playing with right now, he is ready to shoot once that ball touches his mitts.
Payton dishes to Gibson. The feed to Randall, and stolen by Vonleh. And pushing it up, here's Denver. Jokic is running. That's another one for him, his 5th in just 7 shots.
Well-rounded effort, and they show no signs of letting up.
Coaching staff probably most proud of the effort of this team on both ends of the floor here tonight. He's been off the mark, and that hasn't helped them chip away at the lead. It's been a theme here this quarter.
Good work there as it goes.
Amazing how much the evolution of Jokic has helped evolve the offense that's around him. A fearless player who feels like he can go up and match up against anybody in the league.
Now here's Payton. 5 points in the game. Kicks to Gibson. Here's Barrett trying to get open as Randall, and that one goes long. And Murray's got the ball here for the Denver Nuggets. Their defense has only allowed 6 points in the second half. Here's Barton, and Denver again with the bucket.
Well, a good look from Barton there. He did not hesitate for 1 second. When he takes his time and he squares up, percentages go up. Talk about players who are X factors for their team, and for the Nuggets, Jamal Murray is one of those guys. He is a guy that once he gets going, feels like the team can become unbeatable.
As you said, Brent, a hot Jamal Murray can take over a game.
Big-time investment from the Nuggets this offseason in what Jamal Murray is to them now, but what he can be in the future. And I think right now what he's looking to be is as consistent as he possibly can be, night in and night out, to prepare this team each season to play its best basketball in the postseason.
And that one falls for Barrett. And for a lot of these kids, Greg, it's interesting how quickly teams expect them to get up to speed. Case in point, R.J. Barrett.
Yeah, I mean, he had only the 1 year of college, already being asked to produce. Fortunately, he's very mature for his age and generally plays up to the level of competition.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. And Greg, talking to scouts about R.J. Barrett, they love the athleticism. But what makes him especially good is the work ethic and the confidence.
Yeah, some elite prospects will take plays off. This guy never does. He's not one that sits around and reads his press clippings. He's a warrior, a leader, and he's proven to be a winner.
Passes to Portis. Pass to Knox. From deep three-point range, it's rebounded by Vonleh. Denver's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Inside, and finished off by Porter.
He's just a natural scorer who can heat up fast. Porter's offensive game, very impressive, and he's still adding to it.
Now, here's Barrett. He has 7, can't cash in from close range. 34 seconds left in the third. Morris outside. There's 21 seconds left to play in the third. New York shooting 23% from the field. That's not going to get it done. Barrett. And the Knicks miss again. And here's Vonleh. Dishes it to Porter. Morris outside. Over Ellington. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. And so it's Denver, able to put on a show for the ages. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And we'll be right back after this. And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. The Nuggets shooting one of the high points for them in this game at 54%. A moment now to reset the lineups, brought to us by Gatorade, all fueled up here for the fourth quarter. And New York, looking at who they've got. Robinson is out there with Portis. Then there's Wayne Ellington, and it's Ntilikina in at the point guard position.
Not great numbers, but great effort in this one. Sounds funny, but I think he's been a positive for them.
And the definition of teamwork right there on that alley-oop.
And Greg, what about the finish? Bringing it down with some thunder. Yeah. Now, here's Grant. You know, Brent, how candid can players be in their answers in the post-game interviews about what has happened and what they're feeling at that time? In other words, is there a danger to being too honest as a player?
There could be, Kevin. I mean, anytime you express some of your vulnerabilities, and if it's done at the right time, somebody's going to take advantage of it. What we've seen over the past couple years is, forget about when it is that the media is asking you questions. Most players are taking it to their social media accounts where they're able to get the message out without being baited by somebody with regards to a question. They can expound on whatever it is that they're feeling at that time, and that helps them to control the messaging a little bit more. And I think that trend is going to continue and continue to grow.
Shooting two.
The first free throw is good.
I think Mitchell Robinson is one of those guys. We saw it last year. He might get 4 or 5 blocks a game. So many players tempted to shoot outside shots because Mitchell would play off of them, and then quickly he would get to them and deflect the shot. So incredible quick twitch fibers and quick to the ball to make an impact defensively.
Robinson hits them both. And with Robinson, if he played a full 40 minutes every game, Brent, his block numbers would be outstanding.
Look at you, Kevin, digging into the per 36 minutes statistics.
Yeah.
I like it. He's a great rim protector. He has great activity down there. And if he can stay with the game plan, I think Coach Fizdale is going to find ways to give him more minutes in this season.
Here's Knox. 6 on the shot clock with the fadeaway. Nice shot by Portis.
Yeah, Knox trying to improve in this portion of his offensive game, distribution.
Morris looking over the floor. And the basket is good. And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Outside Robinson. Knocks it loose. And pushing it up. Here's Denver. Here's Craig. Second chance shot. Plumlee, no luck.
How about the timing he shows there to challenge that shot?
Yeah, not easy to do there, and that's a guy that you can tell takes every possession defensively very seriously.
And the Nuggets making a change here. H. Diop's checked in. Left side, Portis. New York moving it around. Just 5 to shoot. And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. Many players now signing shorter contracts in free agency. You've talked about this a lot. Does it make it harder or easier for the super teams?
Well, I think it makes it easier because all of a sudden a star player from another team becomes available, that you could latch him on to somewhere else.
Any examples you could throw out there that
I don't want to get into the specifics.
Okay,
of it.
I understand.
I think we've seen it over the past 3 or 4 years with some of our star guys. And
yes.
I don't fault them, because they're getting smarter. Players are a lot smarter about what it is that they can do with having the very few times, Kevin, that you have a say in your career as to where it is that you're going to play, and more importantly, the potential for what it is that financially you can make.
And playing for a championship.
For a championship, for potentially the opportunity to play with somebody who you've always thought you could either elevate their play or they could elevate yours. This is not going away anytime soon.
Now, here's Portis. Here's Ntilikina. Oh, he's going up for the alley-oop here. Stolen by Grant. Morris with the ball. Stolen by Robinson. 3rd minute of action now gone here in the 4th. Here's Knox. Five to shoot. Here's Robinson. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Probably not the shot that was drawn up for that possession, but you can't pass it up, and you can't knock it down.
That one falls.
Really heads up there. A play where you locate the best open pass, and then you get it there for an easy bucket.
Here's Ntilikina. Denver getting their last shot to go. Pass to Portis. Ray, you know, the NBA, not the only league with great players and great play. Talk about some of the other prominent leagues around the world. There's some terrific competition.
There's some great competition overseas in the Turkish leagues. Some very good players that play in the Russian league. There are some great players who are coming out of Australia, and we're actually seeing players now skip playing in the G League to go down to Australia to start their development and professional careers. So when we talk about the world game, Kevin, we're not joking around. It's a very real thing, and we continue to invite the best players that we can find, and they come from all over.
Here's Knox. Ntilikina passes to Knox. Over Morris. Off the left rim and out. Nuggets have gone just 33% from the field in the 4th quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. The pass to Craig. To the inside. Grant. Robinson with the block. Ellington with it. He's against Morris, and the shot is good.
Always fun to look at. Not tremendously efficient, but the floater, boy, those sure are pretty.
On the wing, Daniels. Ellington defending. Now Daniels. Passes it to Bates-Diop. Near the three-point line, it's Morris, and another miss by Denver.
That's a shocker there. Did not expect him to miss from that range. He's got to be shooting close to 60% from there.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Here's a chance now to check out the New York Knicks' upcoming schedule. On Tuesday, the Atlanta Hawks come into town. That will tip off a homestand for them. And then on Friday, they'll tip off a road trip in Miami where they'll take on the Heat.
And that game against the Wizards, it's going to be an all-out battle. And you just hope they are rested and able to execute their game plan, as it's going to be a tremendous challenge.
And he knocks down the first one. Noah Vonleh, he's checked in for Monte Morris. And a new group in for the Knicks. Taj Gibson's checked in for Mitchell Robinson. Reese Harkless comes in for Bobby Portis. Dotson's checked in for Kevin Knox. And it's Dennis Smith in for Wayne Ellington. He hits both from the stripe. Here's Dotson. Pass to Harkless. Now here's Gibson. 6 to shoot. Over Vonleh. Got it from 16 feet.
Nice shooting form from the big man. Taj Gibson has a firm grasp on the mid-range game in the NBA.
Grant outside. He kicks it to Vonleh. Pass to Daniels. The Nuggets with another miss. Here's Dotson. Harkless lays it up and in off the pretty assist.
Elite passes like that are so hard to defend. He never had to break his stride, so full speed, 2 points.
Daniels with it. He's against Smith. The wide open look here for Vonleh. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Vonleh's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Now here is Smith. Not a lot of room. And Grant sends it back. Here's Bates Diop, defended by Harkless. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
What a play there. The hoop plus the harm.
Monte Morris is checked in for Denver. So it's Ntilikina who brings up the ball for New York. Outside Gibson. Kicks to Smith. Denver grabs the miss. Now here is Morris. There's the pass to Vonleh. The rebound by Gibson. Gibson's got 8 rebounds in this game. Here's Ntilikina, and it's blocked. And here is Morris. Down low. Passes it to Vonleh. They get it back. Goes up again. Gibson with the steal. And a fast break now for the Knicks. Here's Ntilikina. Count that one.
Situationally aware as Ntilikina found a way to get out there in the fast break.
Denver's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Now here is Morris. Pass to Vonleh. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Because of that strength and length, Vonleh's shot is very difficult to get to, as the defender learns that time.
Vonleh, 2 shots. Two.
First free throw is good.
A 5-star recruit coming out of high school. Vonleh was the 9th overall pick in that highly anticipated draft class of 2012.
Portis, he's checked in for Frank Ntilikina. And both free throws good for Vonleh.
Well, Coach Mike Malone has grown up with this young Nuggets team. He says that he believes in the youth of this team.
Well, the future is so bright for the Denver Nuggets, and really where you have to give Mike Malone a ton of credit is when they made the decision between their 2 bigs, Jokic and Nurkic, sticking with Jokic and then changing their entire offensive style to play from a point center position. It has paid huge dividends.
One shot.
And so he hits the technical free throw. 1:30 left in the fourth. Here's Dotson. Off target with his three.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Nuggets.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And a milestone win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And with this win, it gives them a sweep of the season series, even though it's just a brief two-gamer.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Michael Porter.
He was tough to cover all game long. One of those nights when he felt like nobody could stop him, and they didn't.
Well, at this point, they're just trying to get back in sync. You want to play a good brand of basketball.
Consistency definitely is a key to some of the playoff performing teams, and tonight they just did not find it in this contest.
Impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans.
Awesome to see their output tonight, trying to urge their team on, and that can always help. That home advantage of home fans getting you going, fully on display here.
Making the most of the screen, that's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Really not enough help there. Lack of communication on the backside.
Morris with the ball. And so it's Denver taking care of business in this one. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Mason, your game has expanded some, and what has that process been like?
You know, you just learn something new every game. You have to study your opponent and see what's going to be open, but some of the constants have to be rebounding, defense, bringing energy, and that's always going to get you a little bit.
Well, you had the whole package tonight, Mason. Thanks. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you later.